Hello and welcome, CT5 here. Time for the first match of the Champions of Cardhuntria 3v3 co-op tournament hosted by Dun or KoboldButter. First match is about to be underway. Let's get things started. I use Mr. RNG here. First map will be on Celestial Lions. And things should be getting underway very shortly. I'm pretty sure they're both ready. I'm going to get the confirmation ready. Very soon. Very soon. I think. Yes? No problem. This should be exciting. Co-op, of course, very fun and excellent addition to Cardhunter. You've not done co-op yet, which seems very unlikely, given that co-op campaign is around and whatnot. Should do it. Should definitely give it a try. And sometimes we have tournaments like these, which is extra awesome. Suppose I could have started typing earlier to make sure both teams are ready. The way this tournament works, there's, I think, 8 teams. So there's split into 2 groups of 4. There's going to be a round robin. And then the 2 teams with the best score advance on to a single elimination round. Three of these games, half of the matches will be played today. The other half will be played in a few days. Maybe just one day or so, depending on when this gets up on YouTube. Due to scheduling, it can be hard to schedule with 3 people. Then you only have a limited amount of time, a small window of time for your team to play and whatnot. So, one other thing to note: this is a best of 1. At least, certainly in the round robin stage. Might change in the single elimination part. Send the PM. Oh boy. Was not hoping this would take so long. UMax says yes. Even though he's not. I mean, I guess I should be waiting for White Sorcerer's reply because he's the team leader. White Sorcerer? Are you there? And that's a yes. Here we go. Very soon. Very soon. I'm excited. Oops. Good luck, have fun, everyone. Excellent. Everyone indeed having fun. People are playing around. So we have White Sorcerer's team, 99 Shouts of WoW, in the black here, against Yopo's team, Hamster Among Us, in the white, up here. Yopo's team going for a 1-1-1. Human Wizard, Human Priest, Dwarf Warrior. Wait, that is a Human Priest, right? Yes. Against White Sorcerers, Dwarf Warrior, Elf Warrior, and Human Priest. So White Sorcerer passes. Or what? Wait, what happened? Oh, right. Just name passing to other people on the team to move. I'm also supposed to be making sure that everyone's using the items that they said they were, and I think so far so good. Yep. And of course, gameplay will be a little bit slower because you do have to communicate with your teammates. Communication is very important. That's part of the fun of co-op. You're discussing your ideas and whatnot. And, you know, when the occasional slip-up happens, that's pretty fun too. Naturally, working with 3 people is harder than just working with yourself. I've said that before. Yeah, I am really curious what they're discussing. And a simple move up seems perfectly reasonable. Just let them threaten this victory square next turn, or walk onto the victory terrain or difficult terrain next turn as well. Or if he has like a dancing cut or whatever, or vibrant or nimble strike. Excellent. People watching the tournament, welcome, have fun. Oh hey, Dreamwalker, I played against you earlier in Oozball. In fact, you actually probably could have won that game if you had kept some blocks on your ooze, because you managed to get your ooze on turn 1 thanks to advanced battlefield training. Anyways, the elf, wow, burns the vicious thrust just to take the victory square. And no, he used that because he wants the dash to be able to move on to the difficult terrain next turn. One thing I've said very often before, and one thing I will repeatedly say again, typically the close victory squares is a trap, I feel. Just because you burned that one move and then the next round you're kind of stuck behind this difficult terrain. It's weird. It's tough. I really enjoy this map. I think this is a really good map. It's a lot of interesting dynamics that go on. And there's been I've played a lot of great games on here. I've seen a lot of great games on here on tournaments or just watching other people play. And no, I did not, when I did the RNG thing earlier, I did not rig it. I did not repeatedly press it until this map came up. I hit it once, and I was satisfied. In fact, I mean, I'm just supposed to hit it once, and then, you know, that's the map. Okay, so people just moving up. Interesting, he moves only up to here. Oh no, I guess that's all 3 spaces, never mind. Thing could have safely moved up here, but it really doesn't matter too much, just because of the difficult terrain there. From this spot, that priest still has line of sight to the elf warrior. This elf is almost certainly going to keep the dash. Actually, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Pitching some pretty good cards here. Yeah, what are they discarding? And yeah, indeed, he keeps the dash. Blind Rage, so you might keep 1 attack or not depending on what he has. You did have to pitch 1. Blind Rage, you typically... I've noticed it tends to make people want to pitch attacks, so they don't take the damage from Blind Rage. And he still has a Vicious Thrust, and that's the right one to keep. Step attacks, having that extra movement is incredibly important, especially when you're a dwarf. Ooh, are they all passing? I like the pass. Mass Frenzy, that's a good one. That's a good reason to pass to your teammate. Get those buffs up. Now it's a great time to get the buffs up. No real actions happening, so they have the time to actually prepare to have a strong start going in. That said, it's very possible that Umax has a Mass Frenzy himself, I think. Or at least some sort of buff. I don't know if it was Mass Frenzy for sure. I can check. Now, wait, that's really interesting. The wizard did not move at all that first round. That's really interesting to me. I wonder if they have Volcano. Doesn't seem like Volcano will be very useful now, given you see all these moves on the enemy team. Because you want this wizard to be able to actually see things and do things, right? I mean, like, yes, the wizard can still move to like around here. I still have pretty good sights. But it would have been nice to just move there first turn, already command that line of sight, and then be able to move onto the difficult terrain if need be, or even over here. Like from there you can go over here, like somewhere around here. Okay, that's not a great spot. But I feel like moving that last turn would have been good, especially since you didn't even keep the run. You didn't keep that extra move. But I've done that before. Just pass and then not keep the extra move. So yeah, and now, so with only that one move, Wizard is, basically stuck in place now. Elf just decides to move cautiously over this way, even though you could have moved up, and then if the Wizard moved, the Elf could move again. Supporting Priest is very content to take this back victory square, because they won't be doing much aside from buffing anyway. And ideally, the buffs won't involve line of sight. We'll see what happens. And it's still... Now, timer is an issue. Both teams have taken at least 4 minutes. Which is fine. Again, communicating is tough. Everyone wants to do well. But the 20-minute timer is the thing. And games on this map can get very interesting, very complicated, and very cool. In which case, the time becomes precious. You want some time for those moments. We'll see. Though this is kind of scary actually, because so I wonder what the line of sight on the wizard would be had he gone here. Slightly better for getting over here. We're looking at this side of the board, which is where the action seems to be going, given that all the warriors are going this way. 2 warriors against 1 warrior is a pretty scary proposition, even if you're a dwarf. Maybe especially if you're a dwarf, because you can't run. But who knows? They're thinking. They're unsure what to do. I'm actually rather curious myself what these guys plan to do. It seems very tempting to just run on with the elf, take the victory square. Again, the step attack could get in the way of that. So they might move the dwarf first, just to get a little bit closer. But, then again, it's a commitment this way. But does the dwarf warrior actually want to go this way into the wizard's line of sight? Probably not. In general, I do think this is a good spot for the human wizard to go. Just to be able to keep this area covered, if need be. Wow, they're really thinking about this. Welcome data, sorcerer. And pawn to 1, of course. Or sorcerer. There are also a couple former sorcerers in this room. They will not be named. Or maybe they've already, they know who they are. Doesn't really matter. What does matter is, what are they going to do? Oh, he used the volcano. He did have it. He did have it. Interesting. It might have been better to save it. Again, the early pass, right, doesn't seem terribly effective out of the volcano, unless it was the second one. Then things get interesting, right? And now what do? You've lavaed your own victory square. Do you have a way out? Do they have a way out of their own victory square? No, simply runs away. Wow, can this human move? My goodness. Oop, that was whoopsies. Didn't mean to say that, did you? Out in the open. Wow, they pass. Just steps forward 1. That's really interesting. Well, they pass first and then the cleansing ray. That's really interesting, and that's really good. I think they were hoping to catch this human priest stuck. But now there goes that plan, right? Their victory square is on lava. This victory square not in lava. Seems rough. They're posturing. They don't want to move on. Looks like it's very hesitant to move on to this victory square. One, wizard can't really see this one. Can't really affect too much of the action around this one. And they know they have the vicious thrust there. Cards like slowed are amazing at those weird times, stalemating times when you don't actually want to pass, but you don't actually want to do anything either. It's amazing to see. Right? It buys you time to see what your opponent does, or maybe, yeah, it's weird because like generally you don't want those. It's not a great card to have in your deck, but like, it is a very useful thing to have at times randomly. You don't want to see it, but it's not all bad. Sometimes it can be all bad. But something like that did not seem bad whatsoever. Stickles team all passed. Obernoob thinking, well, White Sorcerer's team thinking if they want to move that elf or not. So speaking of slowed, it's probably from the human scale, and if it's from the one with 2 leaderships, that's like totally fine. That's a really good item. There's the dash. Wow. So passive, but it seems totally fine because oh, there's the second volcano. You had the second volcano. Everything makes sense now. Wow, surprise. And now this elf uses a step attack to want to avoid the lava. He has to go back. That's awkward. Right, burns the step attack there. He might still have a second one. We'll see. It could be interesting. And then what do you do about here? I wonder. I wonder. Oh wow. He moved here so he could still get line of sight to the priest. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And having line of sight to your allies, pretty nice generally, especially if you have a priest. Especially if you have a wizard, you definitely want line of sight to your own guys. I think. It generally seems like a pretty good thing to do, so you can, you know, do trickery and whatnot. Do all that wizard stuff. Priests typically want to have line of sight to their own guys too, so to apply a buff and whatnot. It's related to one of those things. There's a thread on the forums on how to be a better player, and one thing I think Rebel7284 put up. It sounds very simple, but it's one of the things that's simple and it makes sense, but it might be hard to grasp sometimes. It's, you know, do the most in as few actions, as few cards as possible. Wow, they all passed. Did I see that correctly? They all passed. They're going to be taking some damage. I guess they were assuming Team White Sorcerer would do something, but they all passed. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Volcano makes games really interesting. Right, around the whole, are you going to move, are you not going to move dynamic. Wow. They had a move and they didn't use it. They had moves, but now they're going to be taking a lot of damage, it looks like. And Team White Swords are very happy to take the pass because they're catching 8 damage on all their characters versus only... It's 24 damage to enemy team while only 16 damage to their team. So overall, still an upside. Ooh, had some armor to minimize some of the damage. Oh, cushion! Wow, cushioning armor there, and the resistant hide makes perfect sense. Oh, cushioning armor, surprise! Oh, that's the divine armor with bless. I want that so badly. You lucky kids. Anyways. So resistant hide makes that a lot better. Armor of Faith doesn't seem very good. Where's that from? Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're still good in terms of what items and stuff we're using. I wouldn't expect anyone to cheat. That'd just be very sad. Please don't cheat. That's not cool. Oh my goodness. And I don't know if you saw, but someone pitched a parry, and I think it was this warrior. Pitching a parry. That is huge. So since you're up against 2 warriors, and whoa, he just walks back. Does not want to engage. What is going on? This is the weirdest game on Lions I might have seen. Maybe not. But this you don't see this every day. They're just sort of prancing around each other. Sort of. Okay, they see each other, but they don't actually want to get close. I guess this dwarf lost the staring contest to this dwarf. Goodness. And that sounded like an accidental chat in the victory point seems totally reasonable though. Although they do know that you only have these 2. It's not too threatening here. Oh god, this is so interesting. Also, this dwarf pitched high strips last turn, so I got some free HP off that. Yep, still good on items. Warrior still love Bejeweled Short Sword. Again, this is weird. White Swords does have the victory point. If Team Stiopa wants to take even the victory squares without taking damage, it has to use the wizard, But then if Wizard hops on there, well, yes, we do know it's a volcano. Okay, can't see a line of sight from there, but terrible line of sight from here because of these. In fact, if the Wizard hops there, he's basically out of the fight. At least for a while. Goes in with the Nimble Strike. Here's some action. Oh, Defender's Block. Good morning. And now what is this guy going to do? He's got that nice little bonus from the Defender's Block. So good. If that was a bait, it worked out very well. You turn around. Oh, it's unblockable. You can hit him for free. And then nope. Now what's going to happen? Now what is this dwarf going to do? Chose to keep the Thicken Mail. Chose to keep Thicken Mail over Parry. Like, whoa! Parry is so good. Parry is so good. Thicken Mail, much less so. It's okay. Like, Parry prevents... A successful block prevents a lot more damage than armor, typically. Definitely against warriors, that's definitely the case. Because, like, you know, reliable mail just eats up wizards, for example, especially fire wizards. So much intensity is correct. This is very whoa! Whoa! The priest just walks onto the lava, wants to get in on this warrior. And this is like a weird little choke point right here. This elf can't go in and fight, can't go and help, unless he got some stabs. Stab from here or here. But wow, just hops onto the lava? Oh my goodness. What is happening? What is happening? Woo! Must find out. This is so weird. And you see something like you're scratching your head. You are thinking like, what do they have, right? And I have no idea. Presumably they have something to get rid of the lava underneath them, maybe like another move or cleansing ray from, as we saw from this priest earlier. But does this one want to attack too? You see, as the dwarf warrior with powerful bludgeon and frenzy up goes after the priest. Indeed, takes a ton of damage. A drain would make sense. I can see the priest having a drain. If the priest did that just to soak up a hit from the warrior, I mean, that's reasonable too. I think. There is the invigorating touch into the parry, and that's why parry's so good. And now that priest is probably done for. When you're up against warriors, you keep that parry. 90+% of the time, that's right. That was a huge blow, though, to Team Siopo. And now he simply walks away, out of harm's way, presumably. We do know this warrior used up a walk earlier. Hello, stage. Another sorcerer. Man, this game's like just begun, but we're already so low on time. The plan here made sense. Going in, you had the drain ready. Big drains, especially like the invigorating touch, the buff invigorating touch, really changes the math of things if it lands. If he runs into a parry, I mean, if anything runs into a parry, you're kind of sad. Flaring laser being like the exception. 'Cause, 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 'cause Or possibly even like a pulverizing bludgeon. Hemster passes. It's up to Harold's to maybe do something. Look at how sad this wizard has been. Right, I wonder if this wizard had been here last turn. If the wizard had been here last turn. Oh no, the dwarves were still over here. Walk team. So I'll get the priest to safety. Probably here, just in case there's like still buff. Probably like here is where I'd expect them to go. And then dwarf probably gonna go in again. That's totally reasonable too. Now I think the walk away from this dwarf was actually to bait this dwarf in. Because then this elf can come in, this dwarf can whack away, and the dwarf runs. Whoa! And I think Team Siopa was falling further and further behind. You can't run away forever, especially with this guy on here. Taking the victory points. In fact, this guy can move out now because the dwarf's on the victory square. And now this elf can charge in, like right around here, be very safe from the wizard still, and yeah. The Team Siopa is just down on so much, right? Obviously down on HP. Not in as good position, and it's not looking good. And the defender's block is going to go to waste. That bonus card is going to go to waste now. He had the frenzy still, and even that armor faith for whatever it's worth, right? Just a little bit of something. Denies the victory square, but he also has little influence on the board now. I think I'd expect the elf to run up either here or here. Like there, there, or there all seem like reasonable spots to go. And they pass. I mean, it's just a huge advantage right now for Team White Sorcerer, I feel. And I'm not sure what Team Siopa can do to come back from it. These two volcanoes last round was pretty exciting, but didn't quite work out the way that... Oh, why hello there. They want to go after the elf. Shimmering Aura is of course very irrelevant against warriors. High Strips is weak armor wise, but it will probably also get discarded during the scuffle unless these are attacks. So they're gonna pass now. There's no reason for Team White Sorcerer to do anything. Whoa! Sprint team. Wow. Command, yeah, walk team and sprint team. But where do you go? Line of or difficult terrain plus zone control says no that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can go there. Like here? And where is this guy gonna go? Is he gonna go back here into the priest to attack the priest with cushioning armor? That doesn't seem right either, unless you have Sundering Strike. Just to take the victory squares, like using powerful cards for like so little. This doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel good at all. Or think how differently this would be if that Dwarf War still had a parry instead of the Thickened Mail. Could go in with a lot more confidence, right? Still has the buffs on. Now Mass Frenzy's gone. Like, congrats, you got a point, but you burned a lot to get there. It really doesn't feel good. Like, now your elf, the dwarf, right? It's a dwarf. Dwarves can't move. He's so far away from everything. What is he gonna do? If he has Nimble Strikes, sure. That's good. But even then, if these guys, right, these guys are just sort of march around. It's not looking good, and the time is not good for Team Siopo either. Max simply runs on to even things up pretty easily, and once again, in this sort of stalemate position, right? Like, the team that's ahead is ahead. I'm pretty sure it's still Team White Sorcerer. In terms of like elo and whatnot, like this is a pretty... What? I'm really confused now. I hope that was a misclick, because why would you not want to run onto the difficult terrain, right? And now if he comes at you, he's on the difficult terrain, which means he can run around freely. Pardon the yawn. What was I saying earlier? In terms of elo, Team Siopo, it is a lot lower. White Sorcerer, Umax, and Obernoob are all pretty darn good players. At least if we go by rating. Siopo, Heralds, and Hamster, probably not as much. In fact, they were joking about around, I think Siopo was joking around, oh yeah, I'm the captain of Team Noob here. Which is fine to joke around, but I don't know what I'm trying to say. Where are you going? Okay, I can see the elf. I'm probably being really harsh, but like these movements, I don't feel like there's any coherence to them. I don't know what the game plan is. I mean, things can make themselves evident, right? I can't see the card, so I don't know what's going on. Oh, hello there. Oh, good morning. Oh my goodness. That's really scary. These guys can start to run around over here. Like, this elf can get all the way over here. Dwarf, I don't know where he's going to go. Dwarf might just go right here. Elf can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Around here. Holy crap. All the way over there. He is so lonely. Stuck in the middle. All by himself. He ran, but the other people just sprinted away. Now, Roots! That's a good one. Surprised he's stuck. Oh, but still Fiery Stab. There goes the priest. Oh, time ticking down too. Look, what has the wizard been doing? I don't know what the wizard's been doing. Oh my goodness. Oh, he didn't take any damage. If you had taken damage, it would have been right there, and that would have been all kinds of bad. He can still walk up though. And he will. Just like that. It's a pass. Probably gonna run. Probably like there or there. Probably there. You don't want to get pinned down. So there makes sense. Or there. or there. It really depends how you're feeling. Oh, goodness. Why? If you want to hit the elf warrior, note he has the shimmering aura, so that's just like sadness. This is so bad for Siofa. Even if there were more time, I just don't see it. This is so rough. Got the Mighty Spark, but again, next turn, you're going to be stuck next to an Angry Dwarf. The funny way to make an Angry Dwarf... It's funny when you're dealing with an Angry Dwarf like this, who's all stranded. Then you can laugh at the Angry Dwarf. It's a lot hard to laugh at an Angry Dwarf when he's right in front of you, though. Or maybe you can because they're still so small. And then he whacks you with his axe. 20 seconds left for Team Siopo. Times like this, when you can potentially corner an opponent, is... Oh my goodness, he still has a dash team? Oh. The pain. The pain. And now he walks? He's gonna try and kill the human priest to avenge him, to sort of do something for his team. Cushioning armor is gonna make things pretty tough, but the dwarf could very well have 3 attacks, and then there's 1 attack. Oh my goodness. Oh, there's the parry! See how amazing parry is? Oh, parry's so good. Oh, both parries on the invigorating touch, and then out of time. Yay! Okay, that is the match. In 10 minutes, at least for me, it's gonna be another match, so stay tuned for that. That should be up pretty soon. It should be fun. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.